video. So I have a basic microservice, which is you are sending some name, and it replies hello and this name. That's it. Very simple. So I will first show that this service is alive, and I will show that I have one pod of this microservice, and then I will run orchestrated tests. And it's quite cool that with Litmus 2 you can do it both ways. You can do sort of headless experiment without any UI at all. No Argo, no Chaos Center, nothing. Complete, command line. The heaven for old school, sysadmins. And you can, with Litmus, you can take the results in JSON format, which is friendly for automation. On the other hand, if you want to do basically organization management, enterprise management in terms of resilience and reliability in multi-cloud organization, you can use Chaos Center. And what is amazing, it's built on the same core, Litmus core, right? Same, but with added functionality for that particular use case in organization. So in these 6 minutes, I'll show you both. First, this headless option with completely command line orchestration of full experiment. And then after I add a replica of microservice under the hood, I will repeat this pod delete experiment, but this time by Chaos Central, right? So I'm playing, and I'll be commenting because it doesn't have sound. So first I'll show you that the actual microservice is alive. So I'm going and opening screen. You see Michael K on the top, and now I choose name to Anmol. Anmol actually one of the recent students who completed mine and Car6 course on configuring Kubernetes for reliability. So now I am showing there is one pod, and now I'm starting Argo, which is orchestrating the. Let me.
Hey, Michael, there's a request for some kind of a zoom or higher size of the font, if possible.
Yeah, unfortunately it's video, so I can do only like this. Yeah, let me. I'll try. Yeah, sure. Like this. This is the maximum. Yeah. So there is one pod. So now I'm running submit, and a Chaos workflow is being executed. It's a real speed, but I cut out some continuous processes. So this is the log of experiment as it's happening. So it identified there is one replica, and there was a continuous probe. So when the only replica was killed, it was unsuccessful. That's why it failed. Now in the bottom I'm extracting the information via Chaos result. I'm getting JSON, so it's actually quite cool. It's not all tools allow doing that. You can get JSON right using the usual approach of kubectl. And now when I updated number of replicas to 2, I'm using Chaos Center to run pod delete. So I'm choosing schedule workflow. I'm using the engine to execute as a local engine in the same Kubernetes cluster Chaos Center is installed. I will add experiments. There are 48 experiments, and I'll comment about it later. So basically here we can use any program, right? Because if we can use a program which kills something or breaks, we can also run absolutely any program. So I have some idea in terms of Litmus 3, I'll comment about it a bit later. So we are choosing pod delete here, and by default it's targeting Nginx. So, but with our microservice and the test here, it's called basic. So we are editing it right in place. By the way, I would say that user experience is just outstanding, Chaos Center is very, very sleek and very user-friendly. So you see you are copying prepared text into the workflow here. And after I press tab Save Changes on the top right, it will understand that I edited this text. So it's not just treating it as plain text, all right? It's looking inside and you see, Save Changes. Now it shows up Kubernetes basic, so it recognized, which is nice. But at the same time, it is flexible enough to allow me doing it completely manually. And after I press finish, I start running this workflow. And first, it is initiating. It will install the experiment for pod removal. Here we have Splunk observability platform installed in the same cluster, and it shows internals of the corresponding cluster. You see what's happening there. So, by the way, we are about to kill a pod, right, as part of the experiment. So we should expect one of the pods in the center of the screen. It's not green anymore, right? Because one of the pods is being restored now by Kubernetes deployment, and we can observe it. So Splunk observability platform is similar to New Relic nowadays. They acquired SignalFX, which is doing similar thing to New Relic. It's quite nice. Yeah, and this time our experiment passed because we had two replicas. So and while one of the pods was killed, another pod was successfully serving requests. So yeah, it is a success. And now I'll just go over some UI aspects like analytics, workflow comparison. You can observe your, so to speak, resilience journey for organization, like how it's doing on daily basis, especially if you schedule your workflows on recurring basis. You can add your custom chaos hubs with more experiments. You can connect more agents. For example, you can connect GCP or Azure, and the agent will run there, but the only Chaos Center instance will be able to give you the single dashboard of your multi-cloud organization. So isn't that cool? User management is also here. GitOps, I don't need to explain much. And image registry is needed if you want custom images. It's quite cool for deep customization. So you can start outright, but you're also able to do a lot of customization. Yeah, so that's it. This is a video I wanted to show. And before I go to the course, Karsik and I built, I wanted to comment that in general, as I said already, Litmus Chaos Center allows infrastructure for running basically any programs, right? 48 experiments prove that. So in organizations, when we speak about resilience, reliability, actually chaos engineering is considered as like maybe 60 or 70% of this important area of resilience and reliability. What I want to say is that in addition to classical chaos engineering, such experiments as, for example, deployment of new application version while keeping a component working and serving requests is also can be an experiment, right? It's not classical chaos experiment. It's not about disruption. But if you ask any person in the enterprise, do you want your system to keep working while you're updating it to a new version? Like everyone would say yes. So I would see it would be a natural fit. This Chaos Center functionality basically LitmusChaos can become, Litmus everything or Litmus anything, because you can run anything in it, right? It's flexible enough. And such extension points can include ability for those custom agents or custom experiments to give complete flexibility to chaos engineers or reliability engineers to inform Chaos Center or Litmus Core about success or failure. It can be completely customized. So I would say it would be a next level of flexibility and would help further adoption of Litmus. So it not only chaos, Litmus anything, right? Just an idea, because I see as a programmer, first and foremost, I'm thinking in an object-oriented manner, right? And I see it all can be generified into more common framework without much hassle. Like everything is there basically. You just need to allow some entry points for DevOps experts or developers who want to extend it. So maybe I will write later about it more in form of some feature requests. Yeah, but as of today, it's amazing. So we built this course largely around Litmus Core, and let's go. So what you will learn, it's doing quite good. You see, the rating is nearly 5. It's a little bit less, but nearly 5, and there are 78 students as of today. So let me try to zoom a little bit, much like this. So there are people from India, from Australia, from Moldova, ex-Soviet Union country, from Ghana. Just in the morning, I found that a Ghanaian student registered, and he is learning from our experience. So isn't it cool? Actually, encourage everyone to build their courses, not necessarily Udemy, but spreading knowledge is quite rewarding personally. Yeah, it's not given much money, but still some extra coins into your pocket. Yeah, so and this course, you see, it's quite unique because it's covering configuration of Kubernetes for reliability with various technologies. First and foremost, LitmusChaos, but also Ergo Workflows, Terraform, and Helm. All cloud agnostic, multi-cloud ready technologies. And not only we go into the details of deploying and ensuring the microservice is resilient itself, we also show how to build reliability pipelines with LitmusChaos and Argo workflows to continuously ensure this resilience. Let's maybe go. So what students also bought? Some Kubernetes stuff, Kubernetes hands-on, microservices, deployment, EKS, DevOps, Kubernetes fast track, and people also actually buying, together with this course, they're buying a course on Argo workflows. There is a separate course on Argo workflows. What else? Yeah, certified Kubernetes administrator. And there is Kubernetes Chaos Engineering with Chaos Toolkit and Istio. It looks quite scary to me. It's cool that Chaos Engineering is being taught, but why guys mixed all the eggs in one basket? I mean, why did they put Istio and Chaos Engineering and Chaos Toolkit? Isn't it too much? But I guess it's still interesting. So there are two basically courses on Chaos Engineering nowadays on Udemy, to my knowledge. This one and mine and Karsik's course about configuration of Kubernetes with LitmusChaos. And to be honest, I started working on this second course, but maybe it's too early to announce, but it will also heavily use LitmusChaos to make everyone's lives better, guys. So stay tuned. But now let's continue with this course. So you can do a preview of a lot of videos. This almost 10 minutes video about technology stack. It's available for preview, so I encourage you to have a look. About authors includes my intro and Karsik speaking about this course. There are quizzes, so you can get a nice certificate of completion. Let me show you how it looks. If I open my LinkedIn, and that I just need to search for Anmol Saxena, who is a guy who got interested in chaos engineering at TPG Telecom. You see, he just recently shared this certificate of completion of configuring Kubernetes for reliability with LitmusChaos, and it looks quite nice, actually. Udemy did a good job in design. You see, Udemy is quite stylish. You have certificate number, ID, instructors, 2 people, Karsik and Michael, which is quite impressive. Not on one instructor, 2 instructors is cool. Length, of course, 5.5 hours, and yeah, so once you complete this course, you can share it to prove your credibility. And I guess for your potential employers, it should look nice that you are a serious guy who wants your systems to be reliable and interested in such advanced technologies as Kubernetes and LitmusChaos. Like you can see it from the title of the certificate. Yeah, so now let's maybe switch to the course content. So first, I'm showing how to set up. Source code is available 100% for the whole course. It's in my GitHub repositories. I will share them. Actually, maybe I'll better share the links right now to not forget. So these links, first 2 links are related to 2 main repositories in the course, the Terraform and Helm definitions, and the second with reliability pipelines with LitmusChaos and Argo workflows. And the third link, it leads to the course itself. This referral code here is nothing, harmful. It is just pointing to the fact that it was me who promoted this course. So it's how Udemy platform works. So it will know that I brought people to this course. So I'll share it right now. Let me just find my tab where I can do it. Yeah, I'm sharing right here. Should be okay. Yes, I just shared. Yeah, so first we go into setting up the environment, and I'm using a Docker container with plenty of DevOps tooling, and maybe I'll switch. Maybe I show some of them here. So this is a tools container. It's there are Helm, Terraform, Argo, Vegeta, and other tools. They're all available on Docker Hub. We have pipelines. For example, this pipeline with EC2 terminate with continuous probe. Let's have a look into it briefly.
Hey, Michael, I think this looks awesome. Thank you. We have a quick note on contributions to LitmusChaos from Simon. I think since you have shared the links for the open source practice sessions, etc., on chat, I think folks will get to take a look. The recording is going to be available along with the transcripts, so we will share that on the Meetup page.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I guess we are good to move to the next section. I can speak forever about this course because Kasik and I, we had been working on it like 4 months, I guess, along with other cool guys like Neil and John, for example. And yeah, I can speak about it for a couple of days. So let's switch to next topic. I agree 100%. You're welcome to guys to have a look into the course, and please feel free to drop me a line if you want to discuss anything. So Michael K, I'm always in Litmus channel in Kubernetes space in Slack. Yeah, thanks so much for your attention. Let's go ahead to next section then.
Thank
So
you.
I'm happens to stop sharing. Yeah.
Shayan, let's probably go ahead with this content.
Yeah, let me just wrap it up quickly. Okay. Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Shayan. I'm a core contributor to the Litmus project, and today I'll be talking about how you can start contributing to this project, and also some of the dependent repositories that are shared or a part of the main Litmus project, or helper repositories which you can also contribute to. So it's more of a very wide range that you can contribute to, and it's not just scoped to one repo itself. So to start off with, if you come to the Litmus repository, which is LitmusChaos/Litmus, and you go to contributing MD, you'll find this structured MD file, which actually talks about how you can start, what are the steps to contribute, and what exactly you need in order to start the contribution. So in the beginning, basically, we allow all sorts of contribution. It's not necessarily have to be code. It can be also, in terms of resource. So you can share resource links as well if you have them. We have a section of folder called as resources as well, where we share beginner friendly resources about chaos engineering, about cloud native, so about Litmus as well. So if you have any resources you want to contribute, feel free to do so. Also, you can do contributions in terms of documentation as well, reference materials, examples, and all those kinds. Now coming to development, so you can do bug fixes or feature reports. You can actually request a feature as well. You can fix a certain bug, or you can work on improvements too. So these are all different kinds of contributions we definitely welcome. Now, if this is your first time with Litmus, there's also a development guide, which is right here. So if you click on this, it will open the development wiki, which will take you through how you can set Litmus up from scratch using a local tool. So this is specifically using Minikube, but you can also do the same using any other tool, K3s kind or anything. So it will basically take you through how you can install Litmus and how you can boot it up in a local dev server, and then post that you can of course fiddle around with the code and find either report bugs, or you can either fiddle around with the code and fix something. So with that said, what are the steps to contribute now? Now, the first and foremost thing is we highly recommend you to create issues. And if you're looking to fix a certain bug, then definitely binge through the issue lists, and there's a lot of them which are already there. So you can find the perfect issue for you, and definitely do comment on the issue rather than directly jumping in through a PR. That is much more recommended than a direct PR, because there'll be always developers or maintainers hanging out there who can help you and coordinate with you and carry forward the discussion, and then assign the certain individual the particular issue. So once you're assigned a certain issue, then you can work on the issue and raise a PR. And if you need additional clearance or clarity about a certain issue, then feel free to drop a message in this Litmus Dev Slack channel, which is a part of the Kubernetes Slack workspace. The developers of Litmus always hang in there, so you can easily spin up a conversation with them and clear out your doubts. Now, before you send a PR, what exactly do you need in individual commits? Like, we highly recommend you to sign your work using DCO. A DCO, if you don't know, it's like a simple signature or like a legitimate contribution rights, basically, that you have the legal rights to make that contribution. And you do that by appending a S-S flag when you commit in Git. So you basically do this, and it takes your Git user and Git email that you have configured Git with, and it basically signs your commit. So that gives you a tick mark or a successful check that it is your individual contribution and you have signed it. So that is a must that we always recommend, and you'll find that in the pull request checklist, as well as the different steps of sending a PR. You'll also find it here. So now, how exactly do you send the PR? Basically, we want you to fork the repo, the main repo, to create a feature branch, and then you work on the particular issue that has been assigned to you on that feature branch. Once you do so, you just send a PR from the feature branch to the main repo's master branch. So once you work on a certain feature branch, send a PR from the feature branch to the master branch of the main repo. So that's how you send the PRs in that fashion. And also, if you are specifically looking for front-end contributions, we follow the Airbnb style guide there. If you're looking for backend contribution, we follow the Peter Vaughan's Go Best Practices style guide for backend. So definitely feel free to check out these style guides. It's better safe than sorry, because we do have Prettier and ESLint configured, but it's always better to work with a certain style guides beforehand. That'll help you, save you a lot of time. Now, that we have this. So some of the highlighted repositories are here as well at the bottom. So these are dependent repositories that Litmus actually depends on. So I'll be talking about them in one line basically. So what is Chaos Charts? Chaos Charts is all the experiments, all the different kinds of experiments that you see on the Chaos Hub are all present here, and you can contribute, or you can enhance, modify, or even contribute a new experiment with this Chaos Chart repository. You'll find the experiment YAML as well as workflow YAML all as a part of this repository. Now, Chaos Workflow, what is Chaos Workflow? It basically talks about the predefined workflows and integration also with Argo. So you'll see and find how Litmus and Argo and the predefined workflows work together. So definitely do check this repository out as well. And then we have testing tools. Test tools are another helper repository which contains a lot of helper pods, helper containers, a lot of custom build manifests, load tests, and so many more. So if you are into creating helper utilities, then this is the perfect repo for you. Also, Litmus Go is the main Litmus SDK, and you'll also find how you can bootstrap a certain experiment, generate a certain workflow, certain experiment using the Litmus SDK tool. So this is something which you can also check out if you want to work in the core components of Litmus. And lastly, we have website LitmusChaos as well, which is like mainly as you can see, it's a website, so it's mainly built on Gatsby, and it's for front-end developers. If you're a front-end developer looking to contribute, then this repository is also a good fit for you. And if you find some issues or weaknesses in a certain repository, definitely do create an issue, and then we'll also definitely jump in there and assign you the same. So that's mostly about how you can contribute to the repository. If you have any other questions, we are always open in the Litmus Dev channel, so feel free to reach out.
Thanks, Hank. I think we've reached the end of the agenda. We've taken a little bit more than the scheduled time, but we'll be happy to take some questions on Litmus if there are any. Or if you'd just like to introduce yourself and talk about your interest in chaos engineering, we'd be happy to hear that as well.
Yeah, I guess this my idea in terms of capabilities of this overall Litmus framework to run absolutely anything. So I'm saying, like, why it should be restricted to only chaos experiments, right? Because in general, resilience and reliability is a bit wider than just chaos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Like, yeah,
for sure. Michael, I think yes, there are considerations in the DevOps world around verifying cluster state, probably deployment best practices, highlighting things like that, in cluster scanning, maybe integrating with the load tools to be able to generate load with chaos natively, and different other such capabilities, which probably might be beneficial. Yeah, Litmus Anywhere or Litmus Anything sounds cool. That's something we would definitely like to bring up during the community sync-up call and hope to get views from other maintainers as well. Thanks for sharing that thought.
Yes, because when I was doing some chaos workflows, you can orchestrate anything, and what is needed basically, of course, it's like quite diligent work, but what is needed are some extension points, basically, where developers who want to tune it further would tell about success or failure of experiments. For example, depending on their own state, it's like similar to I don't know, like marking an EC2 instance unhealthy yourself manually, right? You just know it's unhealthy.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and I saw some comments about promotion of this course. Yeah, so it's promotion of knowledge first of all. So yeah, it's not big money. So if you guys interested, you can drop a line and I arrange free access to the course. It's totally fine. Yeah, very easy, very easy. So it's not about money; it's about knowledge first of all for me.
Cool. Is there any other
Yeah, I
update that
don't.
you want to
Yeah.
share?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I don't like promotions myself, but sometimes we are in the world where such platforms as Udemy, they are paid once, so some fee is reasonably taken by them, right?
Okay, great. I think that's a wrap then. Thank you everyone for joining in today, and thanks Michael for sharing your knowledge. Thanks Ryan for talking about contributions. I think there is October coming up, and there is the Hacktoberfest that happens yearly, and it's generally a very vibrant time for open source community contributions. So if you are looking at specific areas into which you want to contribute on the project, feel free to reach out to us on Litmus Slack. You could create your proposals around what you want to contribute on. There are some good first issues that you can already pick on the Litmus repository. We will be putting together a few newer issues we need help on over the course of the next month. So do stay tuned for those issues, and get started with your contribution journey to Litmus if you're interested. Once again, thank you everyone for joining in today. Have a great rest of the weekend. Bye.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks. Bye. Talk next time.
Bye.